Welcome back to another episode, and on today's episode we're working on the F-150. We're preparing it to haul ass. Alright, it's a camper, I guess. Yeah, camper is what we're hauling, not ass. So anyway, we bought a camper. We pick it up next week, and I need to get the truck ready to go to be able to pull it safely and efficiently. And so we're doing two things to the truck today. The first is to add SumoSprings. It's a helper spring that takes place of the OEM bump stops under there and will help the truck with the added load that's going to be pulling around. The second thing we're going to do is add a trailer brake control to the truck. And the one I've ordered is supposed to fit like the OEM, so here's for hoping. Let's get to work. So I'm laying on my driveway, and I'm going to try to do this whole spring thing without having to put my truck up in the air, and I think it's possible. So it seems to be enough room under here, and let me show you where we're at. There we go. I don't know if you can see it. I'll set it up for a little time lapse, and we'll see if we can get this thing done. Fun times. Well, that was one of the springs. Things to note, I did this with my truck sitting on the ground. I do have a little bit of weight in the bed because I have a deck system for my work, and it does have a bunch of tools in it. So the SumoSprings come with a inch spacer, and I didn't need to use that because, well, I probably couldn't use that anyway, because it's already like almost touching, well, it is touching the SumoSprings now, and so I couldn't use that inch spacer. If I did any kind of a lift or whatever to the truck, I'd put that spacer in there. So I'm gonna the hardest part about the whole thing was just squeezing my ass underneath the truck and back. So not bad at all to do. I went under there, got it off. The one to take the original spring off of the truck was a 13 mil. The bolts to put them back on were 15 mil, so just keep that in mind. I had to climb out from underneath here one time because I couldn't find where I dropped the Loctite, so it had fallen next to me and I couldn't see it, so had to climb out so I could get it back in there. So I'm gonna go do the other side and then do the other fun part. Okay, a couple quick tips as I'm putting the passenger side one in. So a lot more room on the passenger side than the driver's side. When you're putting passenger side one in, I used a deep socket and a short extension. You probably could do a short socket with a longer extension, but just put it up through here and then use it to help hand tighten it up a bit. And then as you get closer to it not being enough room for you to maneuver, because it is offset from that hole, then you can switch to a short socket with the wrench. Also, there's two holes on top. You want it to be the forward hole towards the front of the truck is where you want to put that bolt, and these little ears or whatever, they go towards the inside of the truck. So I'm going to tighten those all up, and this side over here is open, so you can get the wrench in there easy. So gonna tighten it all down and be done with this project. Seriously, look at this. Look at all of this stuff you got to take apart. This all had to come apart to get to this. This is the little cubby hole that in the back of it actually has the plug in it. So let me show you a quick rundown of how to get that stupid thing out. It's dumb. This is the dumb thing that Ford, how they designed all this stuff to go together. All right, so first thing you got to do is you got to put a trim tool up underneath this tray and pry it up, pop it up. Make sure you lose one of the clips behind the dash. It's a requirement. Underneath here is two 7mm bolts going into this. So you got to take those out. Then you pop the face of the radio off. You just kind of gently pull it and it'll pop off. There's two more. You can't really see it down there. I hit a button. There's two more 7mm down here that you have to take out. So you take those out. Then from there, you have to go into your console here and make sure you have some lifesavers. And put your pry tool under the lips here. Pop that side up. Pop this side up. Pop the whole thing up. Make sure change goes everywhere. And then pull it back a little bit. It will be attached to these end pieces, so it'll pop off of those clips. Then you can start loosening this one up. You can just pull it from the top and pull it a little bit. But then you have to go down here. Grab a hold of the trim panel that's here, just pull it down, and it swings down like this. And then you need a 10mm and to be able to get to these four bolts here. There it is. And then that will allow you to get access back here to where the backside of that little cubby is. So the cubby has a, like I showed you here, there it is. It's got a little plug, fake plug holder in it, and that was in it, this little guy right here. It's got a little indent in there. You can kind of see it there. You got to push that in and be able to pull it out. And that's what it took to be able to get that little sucker out of that little hole right there. And if you know where everything's at, it doesn't take you very long. But now I get to take the controller. Where's it at? It's over here. I mean, my whole cab is just destroyed at this point. Let's see here. There we go. And there's that. And this is going to go just in its place. And then you got to put it all back together. So, good job, Ford. Good job. I'll see you in a few minutes when I've gotten this stupid thing put back in. Ford makes the truck out of aluminum and still finds a place to put steel and let it rust. Come on, Ford. Look at this. Look at all that. Like, why is that inside the cab of a couple-year-old truck that doesn't see horrible weather, like salted roads and stuff like that? Like, come on. Anyway, all right, putting it back together. Oh, I did forget. There's also a 7mm. Got my finger in the way. There's a 7mm nut bolt back there that you got to take off, so you can take off this piece of trim too. So, because it's covering up the bottom edge of this right there. So, yeah, don't forget that one too. All right, going back to putting it together. And there it is, all installed. Looks good. Yes, my truck is insanely dirty. To make an excuse, I do have two large German Shepherds that have hair everywhere. The rest of it is just me being lazy and not cleaning it. All right, so now that is in, truck is back together. I never did find the clip that was up here, so I will have some ghost phantom rattle in this truck at some point, and that's okay. Right now we're doing I'm doing ForScan, so there you can see that I have the module plugged in, and here's my computer. And I've gone ahead in here and changed the trailer brake module, the trailer brake control gain setting, and the trailer brake control module. The other one was just, I added control in there, but whatever. So those three items, and we're going to write those three to the truck, and hopefully then everything's going to work. Cycle ignition off and then back on, and then back on there. Okay, the truck said to turn it off and turn it back on again, and now I'm going to reach down here and grab this little guy and show you the screen if it'll focus. And now we have trailer gain control. Nice. Let's see here, push some buttons. Yeah, see, everything's changing. Very cool. So we should be up and running. Very awesome. Well, that was a productive little bit of time. We put the helper springs on the back, which wasn't hard. It was a lot easier than I was kind of expecting. Then we added in the trailer brake controller, which was more of a pain in the ass than I was expecting it to be, but it still didn't take that long or was that hard. We did lose a clip in the dash somewhere, and we also found my stash of Lifesavers winter mint. So overall, I'd say it was a good day. So now I'm ready to go pick up this camper, and I guess you'll see a little video of that after we pick it up, and I'll give you a little tour of what we're going to be towing around. All right, it's the next morning. It's early. It's the same shirt. Whatever. Haven't had a chance to take a shower yet. Still trying to wake up. Anyway, so the next morning, picked up my father-in-law's tractor with the trailer and all that. Testing out the SumoSprings, and wow, what a difference. No sag whatsoever. I mean, well, maybe like a half an inch or so instead of, you know, the usual amount that this trailer and tractor would put on that. So, and driving it over here, I mean, you could tell a noticeable difference in stability. So, pretty cool. I'm excited about it. So, just a quick recap.